rest of Africa. I'm a believer. I'm an African and I believe in Africa. They always say Africa is the next thing, the next big thing. And my message is very clear that Africa is not the next big thing. Africa is the place to be. It's actually happening now. So are we ready to embrace all the good things happening? I think we are, but we need to raise we need to shift gears and work with each other more closely. One of the biggest handicaps in Africa is that we've made it very difficult for Africans to travel between one another. And I think Rwanda is one of the countries that had made it very easy. They've said that, no African country should seek a visa. You can just walk into Rwanda anytime you want. And I think that's the spirit that we need to do. When you look at Rwanda, even the ease of doing business, they're number one. They've overtaken everybody else despite their, bad history and what they went through. But we don't have to go through such a history to make positive changes in how we do things. Yeah, the East Africa, we borrowed a lot from SADC, the Southern African countries who have worked together very, very closely. Talk of South Africa, they will talk about Zambia, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Botswana, name it. For me, the message I want to put across, especially for the West Africans, they also need to come closely together. If we're able to get West Africans to work together, then you've got Eastern Africa, then you've got Southern Africa, and then of course you have got North Africa. And then all these blocks coming together. I think the continent of Africa, instead of building walls, we should be dropping these barriers. Let's have visa-free. Let our people travel between each other. Let us get working airlines. Make it easy. Reduce the taxation levels so that people are able to invest. Today, if you are to travel between an African city to another one, more often than not, especially on the western part of the continent, you are forced to fly out of the continent into Europe and then back again. I think that happening in 2017, 6 years after independence, is a very sad case. And we must sort that out. And when you look at West Africa, we are not short of the capital. We are not short of the people to do the work. We are not short of educated masses. The whole of Africa is nothing but great opportunities. And let me tell you, if things in Africa work, we have a lot of Africans today who are in the diaspora who love to come back home. Trust you me, they have a soft spot for them, and they actually always talk about Africa. They're saying, if things work out in Africa, I'll be more than happy to come back home, and work. And I think that's the spirit we need to do. Tourism is the easiest vehicle to get our people out of unemployment. If you recall, a place like Cambodia and Vietnam, for those of us who are growing up in the 70s and 80s, Vietnam and Cambodia was known to be a war zone. It was war. But today they have fast-tracked themselves through tourism and light industries, but specifically tourism. And tourism is labor-intensive. So it means you employ very many people. So all of a sudden, Cambodia and Vietnam, and now also Myanmar, which is former Burma, all of a sudden, and even when you walk around this trade fair, you'll see them. They are really, really exploiting tourism. But will you say the same about Africa? Not yet. Yet, Africa is a melting pot. The culture in Africa is unbelievable. We have over 7,000 languages in the continent of Africa. 7,000. Africa is just not a continent. It's a very unique continent. From West Africa to the south, east to west, we are all different, yet we are in one continent. And I think that is something we need to exploit. That is something we need to package to the rest of the world. We have 1.3 billion people who are looking for unique places, special places. And those special places can actually be found in Africa. So the question is, what are we waiting for? For any country, whether it is Kenya or Ghana or any country for that matter, if you are to go back some 20 years ago, hardly 3 months will go before you hear about a coup d'etat. Government has been overthrown and so and so is now the president. Those days are gone. You dare do that, you are smoked out. And the best example for me is Gambia. All right? When he dared to do that and he didn't want to leave office, Nigerians, Senegalese all came together and smoked the guy out to show you that we mean business and you can't get away with murder. All right? Now, Africa, we are democratizing slowly as we move on. Kenya is one of the countries that has really practiced democracy the best way we can, and is the only country, I think the third in the world, where a presidential win was annulled by the Supreme Court, and we are still stable. And I think we are an example to the rest of the world. So we need to make sure that we remain stable. If we are to exploit tourism, no tourist will ever go to a place where they feel that their life is in danger, where they feel that there is instability. Nobody will ever visit you. So it's very, very important that Africans are at peace with themselves before you dare invite anybody to come and have fun.